Hey everybody, today I want to ramble about hating in astrology. I think it's pretty fun and pretty easy to talk about why I hate another sign or what I like about other signs and just my personal opinion pointed outward. So I think it'd be fun to take that same premise and turn it inward to look at how astrology is helping us see ourselves and how astrology is helping us perceive how we come off to others in the outside world. So today I want to talk about what other signs hate about me personally. Um, I have a lot of Leo in my chart. I have some strong Capricorn in my chart. Chiron, my moon, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter in Vesta in Leo. Um, Mars in Libra, Sun in Virgo, Cancer ascendant, Neptune, Uranus, North Node, Capricorn, Saturn in Aquarius, and that's about it. That's all the big ones. Um, I'm going to be looking at all of those things, not just my sun sign, to talk about what energies think of me, not just their sun sign. So I'm going to be taken from enemies that I've made in my life, friends that I have in my life, family, and what negative things I've heard about myself, and what negative things I can assume happen between me and others to make them dislike or hate me in astrology. Um, so let's start off with Aries. And Aries is going to hate me because I challenge you. I challenge you constantly and I do it fearlessly and I kind of do it without thinking. I make it seem nonchalant. It really comes from the fact that I become territorial with Aries because they're so pushy. And firstly, it makes me feel like they're rude because I'm very sensitive. And then secondly, it makes me feel like they're going to try to take territory from me with their like pushy, aggressive kind of very one track minded way. So I tend to purposely challenge their ideas, sabotage their ideas when it comes to anywhere close to my territory. Like you're not gonna succeed around me if I feel like you're too pushy. So an Aries is definitely gonna pick up on that, and they're just gonna find me difficult and annoying and just challenging. Like I just challenge them constantly, and I become a constant obstacle. So they'll want to stay away from me. So that's pretty easy with Aries. I'm going to constantly butt heads with you, and you also might like that about me because you like the challenge. But I don't back down, and I will kind of aggressively not let you win just as much as you don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. Um, so it can easily go bad and get very negative. Um, all right, so with Taurus, a Taurus is going to hate me because they feel like I'm loud, they feel like I'm attention seeking, they feel like I'm manipulative. It's not hard for a Taurus to get close to me or feel like I'm trustworthy and fun and practical, and I listen to them and they listen to me, and it's kind of an easy exchange. But the problem is once we do get close, Taurus like to think ahead. Taurus like to be practical about how they trust others. And when they see me dealing with other people, how I deal with my enemies, or how maybe a friend will become an enemy, or something along those lines, and they see kind of how vicious I am, how angry I can be, how emotionally charged I can get in situations, and they start to wonder, what am I capable of doing to them? So they start to feel like I'm not trustworthy because of the way they see me treating other enemies, and they just can't see themselves doing the things that I would do when I get upset, or saying the things that I would say once I get upset. So they'll end up hating me because they just feel like I'm untrustworthy, I'm just really mean, I'm really loud, and I'm a bit attention seeking. And I thrust them into the spotlight just as much as I'm out there. I'll kind of try to drag them out with me, and then they start to feel like I'm publicly like embarrassing them, like I'm trying to embarrass them when I pull them out into the spotlight with me. So yeah, that is one surefire way to piss off a Taurus, and I tend to do it. With Gemini, Gemini actually have a hard time hating me because I'm fun and I like to talk and I talk quickly and I can keep up with them and things like that. But I will piss them off, and I will continuously piss them off because of the way that I argue. I'm very I think Libra kind of comes in here with that Mars and Libra and that Cancer ascendant, where it's like I switch between being emotional and not being emotional. And a Gemini might not be the most emotional person but they know how to trigger other people's emotions, and they know when they debate how to get you emotionally invested in whatever it is that they're saying. Where I can kind of cut that off and then play the same game, and then like I'm just very stubborn and I'll play devil's advocate, and sometimes I will just say things when I'm arguing with a Gemini that I don't believe in myself, but it just makes them look wrong. And I'm just capable of pulling up anything I can to make them look wrong. And I'll listen to you, but I'll just always have something to say. I will always be able to argue with you. Nobody will ever be right. And it drives them insane because we will both run around in circles, just trying to like trick the other one into just shutting up or just trick the other one into just saying something that will ruin their argument. And then with the Gemini, I keep up with what they say. Like if what you're saying now does not match what you said 2 minutes ago, I'm going to pull that out and I'm going to try to discredit you, even though it's not fair to do that to a Gemini, even though sometimes they can tend to lie, but other times what they felt 5 minutes ago is not what they feel now. They've gotten new information, things have changed, and their ideas literally have changed. But I don't care if I'm trying to argue with you. I will use that to discredit you, and they just tend to hate me. They hate how stubborn I am. They hate how much I twist the words. They hate all that shit, and I piss them the fuck off. Like to the point they run out of words and they just want to kill me. So I know that much about Gemini. Why a Cancer would hate me? I'm mean. Just plain and simple. That's the way they're going to see me. They're going to see me as cold and difficult. They're going to see me as someone who's just very critical. I criticize everything that they do. I criticize everything that they say. They feel like I keep them around even though I don't like them. They're just kind of there for me to point out their flaws and tell them how bad of a person that they are. They also feel like I just try to make them feel guilty, that I attack them for stupid things and I attack them for nothing, and that I'm just aggressive and mean and cold, and I'm just mean to them. That Cancers just think I'm mean, so they tend to hate me because they just think I'm a mean, not nice person. With Leo, why a Leo would hate me, they don't know. They don't really know why they hate me. There's just something about me that annoys them. They're like, it seems like I'm funny and I'm fun to be around every once in a while, but there's just that grating feeling that was just, they just don't like me. They don't like what I'm putting out there. They understand that I'm funny. They understand why other people like me, but they just don't understand why they don't want me around a lot. Like they want to keep me as their personal friend, maybe not bring them around their other friends, maybe go out one-on-one with me, but they don't want to bring me around their group of friends. They just tend to hate the way that I act for some reason when we get into a group of people. And they tend to hate on me. Not really even hate on me. They just tend to hate me for reasons they can't sum up, but there's just something about me and I don't fucking like it. With Virgo, Virgos tend to hate on me or tend to hate me because I'm just too much. I'm too much. I'm too loud. I'm too open. I'm too emotionally charged. My emotions seem out of control. They can't really take me everywhere. They can't really do anything with me because I'm just too much sometimes. And then nothing gets done. I'm like this whirlwind, this twister that comes into their lives, and they enjoy it. They enjoy being swept up into Oz every once in a while, but when they have me around too long, nothing gets done. And I start to become more of a burden or a distraction than I am a useful friend. And again, this can be more than just sun signs. This can be someone with a Venus, dating someone with a Venus in Virgo, or if I'm friends with someone with a Virgo ascendant. Like this energy, how my energy is perceived by their energy. It seems like I'm just too much. I'm too open. I'm just too all over the place, and it just seems like I'm good for a fun time. But like if you want to get work done, I'm not the one to come to, and that tends to get on your fucking nerves. If you have strong Virgo placements. Okay, why a Libra would hate me. I just don't carry myself well. I seem imbalanced. Where it's on one hand, I come off so tactful and so put together that I'm just stuck up and sort of like bitchy and nasty and not a nice person. Or I am so non-tactful or just so tactless that you would expect to see me on like Jerry Springer or something. And it just seems like I'm not balanced enough. I'm not reliable enough to hang out with a Libra. They just like either you're going to be so stuck up that nobody's going to like you, or so tactless that I can't be around you. And then on top of it, I'm just not even good looking enough to get away with any shit like that. Like, no, like he's not even hot. Like I can't even deal with this. There's no pluses to this relationship or this friendship or anything like that. It's just too all over the place for me, and I don't know what I'm going to get from him. So yeah, Libras tend to hate me. With Scorpio, why a Scorpio would hate me. A Scorpio is that rare exception where it's like Scorpios just hate how much they love me. It's just they love me. They love how my dark humor. They love the fact that I'm open. They love the fact that I'm not a grudge holder. I can defend myself, but I'm still kind and things like that. The only problem or the only issue that arises is when it comes to them. I have a tendency to push away boundaries or explore or push their boundaries where it's I just tend to push their buttons and they start to get this idea that I know I'm pushing their buttons and they feel like I'm just starting to like protrude into their lives a little much and I'm starting to really push them to be more open than they're comfortable with. And I try to drag them into the spotlight just like their opposite, Taurus. I try to drag them into the spotlight when they're not ready for it. And and sometimes I just seem downright stupid. Like they just don't even understand how I live my life day to day. Like how are you surviving on Earth? You just seem like such an idiot. And I don't back down. And when they think I'm wrong, I don't care. And when I think they're wrong, I don't shut up. I'm totally unafraid to challenge them and fight with them and go as far as whatever needs to go. So it just kind of seems like I'm cool, I'm funny, they like being around me, but it's just I tend to go between best friend and enemy very quickly. We are frenemies a lot of the time. Where it's just like we can love each other or hate each other. It's right then and there, and then 2 seconds later that'll switch. Like 1 second we're best friends and we love each other. The next second we hate each other and we're going to fucking shoot each other. And then 2 minutes later we're best friends again. So that tends to be that with Scorpio. I tend to put them on emotional roller coasters because I'm just so prodding and I don't respect their boundaries, so they tend to hate me. With Sagittarius, why is Sagittarius with hate me? Sagittarius don't actually tend to hate me. That's another special occasion or whatever, or, you know what I'm trying to say. The only thing Sagittarius are they get bored with me. Like they don't understand why I can't like keep up my energy all the time. It seems like on one hand or 1 week or one day I'll be really hyper, I'll be really up to do whatever and I'm down for whatever and we can party, we can have fun and I'm right there with them and we can party all night long. And then like the next day or the next week I'm just really quiet and reserved and I'm not saying much and it just seems like I'm not paying attention and I'm very like everything I say is really deep and introspective and it's just like, man, I'm trying, like, we're at a club, like why are you being so like boring right now? And then even worse, you'll have days where I'm just like sulky and you won't actually get any words out of me. I won't say anything and then I'll be like brooding and like snappish and I'll snap at you and I'll just be bitchy and I'll cancel on plans and I just won't go and like you can't get me out of the house. And it just seems like, wow, like you're fun, but you're a fucking burden, man. Like you're not like stable. Like why is it that I have to deal with all this other bullshit too? Like sometimes I just do want to like leave you behind or not invite you. And that's fine. But yeah, they just dislike how unstable I am and why I can't just be as fun as I was before all the time, or why am I changing in such a way that's just not, you're not yourself. Like you're almost different people. I never really know who I'm going to run into. But then again, it adds a little bit to the excitement, but they know when to run and they know when to stay. So yeah, Sagittarius actually don't tend to hate me. Capricorn, why Capricorn would hate me? There are plenty of reasons for Capricorn to hate me. I kind of blindly challenge them. Capricorn have a way of demanding respect with what they, not really what they say, but how they carry themselves, what they do, just their lives in general. They live in a way that demands respect. They're not going to go around asking for it or actually literally demanding it. But I'm the type of person, if you don't fit my standard, or even if you do fit my standard, that does not mean I'm going to treat you the way you want to be treated. I'm the type of person where it takes communication. Unless you tell me your boundaries, I'm not going to respect them. And with a Capricorn, that's exactly how it sounds to them. That's exactly how I come off to them. So they tend to hate me because I just challenge them and I disrespect them constantly and I don't treat them the way that they expect to be treated. And a lot of the times I'm just not impressed. It's very hard to impress me because material things don't do it. I'm not impressed by how much money you have what kind of car that you drive or what kind of job that you hold or anything like that. It's very specific. Honestly, it's tethered to each person that I meet. This one person may impress me with their job where this other person might not. So for a Capricorn, I tend to just send them mixed messages because I tend to be attracted to them, but then when they try to impress me in ways that make sense to them, I seem unimpressed and it gets annoying and it starts to feel like I just have no respect for them. I just don't care about how they think or feel, and I have no problem going toe to toe with them. So all in all, they tend to fucking hate me. um with Aquarius, why Aquarius would hate me. Aquarius hate me because they think I'm dumb. They're just another one of those signs that are just like, wow, he's really ditzy and goofy, and I just don't get his point. Like, he seems pointless. That's kind of one thing they feel like I'm pointless, and what I'm saying is pointless, and that I'm very narrow-minded and emotionally charged, and it just doesn't seem like I'm all here. It doesn't seem like I have my shit together. It doesn't seem like I'm focused on the right things. My priorities are all over the place. It just doesn't seem like I'm a rational, everyday human being. Like, there's something wrong with me, and they're just not impressed by me in general. For them to actually hate me, I'm not sure. I think once we get to the point where I feel these feelings from Aquarius and then I start to pick on them in a way, I'm pretty passive aggressive in that way. If I feel like you don't like me, I want you to say it. I don't want you to keep acting like it. So I will try to push them to prove that they don't like me, so I know. And yeah, I'll easily get an Aquarius to hate me. And lastly, Pisces. Why a Pisces would hate me? Because they're the victim. I mean to them. I'm a horrible person. I keep them around just because I want to pick on them. I use them just to relieve stress or use them as a punching bag. They don't understand why we're friends. I have them around just to tell them how much I can't stand them or just to change them or kind of have them as a sidekick, and I don't let them have their shine when they deserve it. And I try to control them. And I'm a bitch. Like, I'm just a bitch. And it just seems like I'm just this mean, territorial, just dictator of their lives. And I come in and I'm just not flowing, and I don't stir up the right sort of things to sustain a relationship. I may bring positive energy into their lives immediately, but it tends to fizzle out quickly and turn into something negative just as fast. Yeah, they just end up really resenting my presence in their lives and just hating me. Yeah, that's why every sign hates me. Again, I'm taking this from personal experience. I'm taking this from thinking of different placements. Having Capricorn here or having Virgo here, like, what about me in that same position wouldn't mix well, and other things like that. I'm putting these together in a very random way. And I recognize these things in myself, and I recognize why people would hate me, and I'm totally not against it. And I say these things so strongly, and I'm saying them as if they're the truth about me, that I'm mean or that I'm this or that I'm that. Because to them, their perception, that is the truth. That's the way they're going to view me. And I have no problem admitting that or going along with that, because that's the way you're going to see me. I think when we all take the time to do this and recognize in ourselves what's worth changing, what's not, what's their perception, what's the overall perception, and just things of that nature, when we take the time to also look at other people's opinions of ourselves as much as we put out our opinions of others, it can be enlightening and it can be just as fun, and we can just invite a lot of knowledge and perception into our lives. So hopefully this was fun. I liked rambling about this. I actually had a lot more fun than I thought I would. Maybe self-deprecation is a little more fun for me than it should be. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Subscribe, check out my blog, my Facebook, Twitter. I put all that stuff in the description box below. And yeah, see you later.